CBS 46 News presents Public Affairs on Peach.
Good morning to you and welcome to Public Affairs on Peach. I'm Karen Greer. What comes to your mind when I say Red Cross? Is it blood donations, helping fire victims, or disaster relief? Actually, all three are true. And with March being Red Cross Month, we're going to talk about all three this morning. Our first guest joining us to talk about some of what the American Red Cross does is Davina Mims-Puckett, Regional Communications Manager for the Atlanta Red Cross. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
And you see, I'm from the old school. I keep saying American Red Cross.
Right.
That's still accurate, correct?
Absolutely. And we're the Red Cross of Georgia. Okay.
And you guys have really been busy focusing on disaster relief. You and I talked in the green room. We've had so many fires in Metro Atlanta lately. That really gets you all very, very busy.
Yes, we stay busy with the fires. We've had multiple apartment fires and home fires this year. And we'll talk a little bit more about that throughout the program, about what we're doing specifically to help combat some of those drastic numbers.
And you guys every day respond in our community. Here's a look at some of the fires that we've had. We just had one Monday where 6 people died in that fire, and you guys were on the scene.
Absolutely. So we always respond to every fire. Right after we get a call from the fire department, we respond with our incident response leader. These are volunteers that are trained to show up with different resources. And if I'd like to share a few, if that's okay.
That'd be great.
So the first thing that we do when we show up is we provide comfort and hope. Comfort can come from many different sources. Something as simple as a blanket like this one. If you've just escaped a fire, maybe you don't have a jacket. Or maybe it's a small toy, a plush toy for a child who's scared and doesn't really understand what's happening. We also have comfort kits filled with things that you and I took for granted today, like a toothbrush, or maybe it's a wash towel or a bar of soap. So those are some of the immediate things that we'll provide, but the stop doesn't stop there. We also provide emotional counseling, and our health professionals are trained also to work with people because it's a traumatic event when a fire happens. And so we want to make sure someone is on the road to recovery after a traumatic event.
And especially in our area, it's been so many fatal fires. Well, how many people would you say in 2015 your organization has helped?
So far in the state of Georgia, there have been 29 deaths since January 1st. And we're leading the nation right now, unfortunately, in the number of fires that the Red Cross responds to in Georgia. And
you're not just responding that day of the fire, but I thought it was interesting. You're going back into the community because we're finding in a majority of these fires, there are no active or any smoke detectors in the homes.
No, there aren't. And so, you know, we're going. We have a home fire campaign. Through 2019, we'll be doing this. We go door to door to provide emergency assistance. We also are giving families the means that they need to kind of escape a fire. So that's your fire escape plan. We want to make sure that everybody in the home knows safely how to escape in under 2 minutes, because experts agree that you probably only have about 2 minutes to get out of that house once the fire starts. And then we also want to make sure you have a working smoke alarm installed in your home as well.
Now, a lot of people are going to be concerned too about what happens when you've lost everything. You all are on the scene to also put them up. Where do you put them, and for how long will you do it?
So due to the generosity from our donors, we're able to provide a place to stay for a family for several days. We're giving them assistance and the means to start that recovery with food and clothing and a lot of other things that our donations provide. We don't necessarily tell a family where they need to go. You might have relatives in the area or friends that you can stay with. So you're able then as a client to manage and set and maintain your own priorities that are going to best meet the needs and emergency needs of your family at that time.
When you think of some of the stories, some of the people that you've helped, what stands out as an amazing story?
Well, most recently I've interviewed a family who a mother had to make the gut-wrenching choice of dropping 4 of her young children out of a window to hands below. And again, we mentioned the smoke alarms. Luckily, they did have one and it was working, but you hear about those stories, about the tragedy of a fire, and you think about the fatalities, or maybe it's someone who just narrowly escaped flames from a home fire. And again, Red Cross is partnering with fire departments across the nation, here and around the world, to really help combat a lot of these statistics and these devastating stories.
This morning, as people are watching this and they may know folks in their neighborhood who don't have working smoke detectors, smoke alarms, what can they do? Can they contact your office, the American Red Cross? Atlanta Red
Absolutely.
Cross?
You can contact the American Red Cross, but we also ask that you contact your fire department. Our canvassing opportunities are set for specific communities that we've already identified as being high risk to fire. So the first thing you should do is probably contact your local fire department and talk to them about ways that they can help install one for you right away.
When it comes to volunteers, you know, you never have enough, but you guys may, because people know all the great work that you do. Volunteers and money, some of the big things you need to keep going.
Absolutely. So redcross.org is always a great place to donate and also join the team. I mean, we need dedicated people who have a passion for helping others in their community, and we're always happy to have that help.
And how long does it take? Just out of curiosity, when you hear there's a fire, who alerts you to get to the scene?
The fire department calls us as soon as the scene is safe. So once they've got that fire out, they begin to assess the situation. They call us right away, and then we take it from there. So we'd like to be on scene within about an hour of a fire actually occurring.
And these recent fires that we've had, you guys have been able to put all those families up?
Absolutely. So when we get on the scene, again, we are going to provide you with the assistance and the means to be able to decide how that money should be spent. And if that means safe lodging for a couple of nights, then you're able to do that as well. But again, our caseworkers will work with the family over the next days and weeks to come to make sure that they're on the right road to recovery, and we'll track that progress and stay in touch with them. We offer the education because we do this so much, and sometimes that comfort and hope can just come from someone who knows how it's done and what you're going to go through over the next couple of days and things you may not have thought about to help you recover.
Because you're still in shock. Well, Davina, thank you so much for joining us. We have so many more parts of what you do to get out there. We're just getting started on Public Affairs on Peach. We're going to talk about blood donations and what's being done to speed up the process. That's when we come back. Don't go anywhere.